So now we come back to what I guess a lot of you are really expecting and waiting for, and that is what call 2 will entail. So I will call Thierry, our coordinator, back so that he can tell us everything that's in the pipeline on preparing that second call.
Thank you, Thomas. So I think we had really the chance to see with this testimony of the 3 projects which are going to be developed in very different settings and different direction. What the first call of PRISMAP has been able to trigger and to promote. So we are continuing. So we are now opening for a second call of project, which of course is going to be offered to research groups which are interested to submit projects in fields related to what we just heard this morning. And following the applications guidelines that I've as well introduced. So I invite you to continue to interact with us and to look into PRISMAP and this second call, then to give you some time to put this together, maybe come to some matured proposal for PRISMAP will be open until end of September for this year. What you will find, and that we are working on actively as I speak, is not only the portfolio of radionuclides that you have been able to look through with the specification that we mentioned on the isotope to be delivered, covering radiolantanides, alpha emitters, or Auger emitters, as we just heard. You see in my slide that actually we will be expanding further for this second call with some new directions and new extensions of this offer. Again, as you see, covering positron emission tomography, alpha emission, Auger emission across the periodic table and across atomic masses. So I will not go through in detail on the properties of these radionuclides. They will be made available on our website in the coming weeks. By all means, early this summer, so that this gives you the time, as I say, to understand and evolve eventually and submit your project to the PRISMAP platform. The data as well that will be provided, we will following the one of these reports that you can check on the outcomes, again on the standardization and how we should offer radionuclides with the relevant properties when of course the offer is meeting the properties as described in our specification sheets. I take the opportunity to say that we have now open a position for the management of the services across the consortium, so that we have a efficient process for really scheduling and delivery of the radionuclides as the projects are implemented and selected across the coming and the present calls for project. So second call for project is open. You can submit your proposal, and the services will be updated early in summer with these new radionuclides. We have as well clarified with this scheme that you will find on the on the services offered for the second call, on how the consortium, I mentioned these big facilities which are in the consortium, so how they are involved in the different steps before eventually you will be served with one radionuclides, or before you will be accessing these radionuclides in one of the biomedical facilities. So I think this scheme then helps you maybe to clarify a little bit why we have together the cyclotron in Aronnax and a cyclotron at the Polcher Institute, and radiochemical purification in EVESI laboratory, and ultimately the shipping. So we are following this full process, if you want, of the supply chain, let's call it like this, within PRISMAP. As well, we have a little bit elaborated more on the biomedical facilities that you can access to. So again, we really invite the researchers where they have their capacity to do the research in their home institute with this non-conventional radionuclides from PRISMAP. You're, of course, the certainly very important groups, but as well, you have seen that for some of the projects, it will be important to be able to perform the research in one of these facilities. Either in Lausanne, in EVESI laboratory in Denmark. I mean, please go visit the website. You will see how important the structures are to eventually access techniques that you would not necessarily have or the license. The descriptions is as well a bit more elaborated. And this as well will be online early in summer. So please, you can already scroll through PRISMAP and come back in 2 weeks' time, that maybe you will have refined your ideas. Still, to apply, this is not very complicated. So 10 pages projects. If you selected, then you will go through the small discussion session with the selection panel of PRISMAP. This will be happening after September, so in October, November. So that the decision is done by end of this year already for the second call. This is described in the guide for applicants. So you may contact the help desk. Don't hesitate. This is for us important as well to initiate early these discussions with you, even if it's just an idea of project, so that we may best give you feedback, help, and eventually even evolve your ideas, so that you would find that there is maybe one isotopes or one way to do what you wanted to do in a better implementation with PRISMAP. So we are a big consortium where we want really to promote this single interface, so that we believe we simplify your life in a sense. Really explore the capacity of our consortium with radionuclides. You have seen with alpha emitters, with Auger emitters, with theranostics. Then there are really a lot of things which can be done at the preclinical, eventually at the door of clinical for some of the cases. Okay, so if you have a new project, apply, and I'm happy to have been able to share that with you this morning. And unfortunately, I think most of you could not travel, but to tell you, we had a very pleasant as well discussions within the consortium in the past few days, and still tomorrow, and a very pleasant place and summer, almost like feeling time in Riga, and a beautiful sunset yesterday on the Baltic shores. So thanks like that, we can, I think, enter into the roundtable discussion. So I see the different co-chairs are discussing, and so I leave the floor there.
Okay, thank you very much, Thierry, for this update on what is to be expected for call 2. I believe that Uli has something he wanted to add.
Yeah, just to tell the people who looked at the isotope list, the last one, there was a typo. It should read 227 thorium, not 229. So don't make projects on 229, please.
Thank you, Uli, for this clarification. That's indeed.
Yeah, thanks, Uli.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Thierry. And of course, as soon as all the material will be ready for distribution and that the call will be launched, we will also communicate that via our second newsletter, which is currently in preparation and will be released at that time. If you are not yet registered on our user forum, but would like to receive our newsletter in the future, please go on the PRISMAP website and register for the user forum. So before we close this public event, I'm very glad to have our host here, Maya.